By the time I was 18, I was headed to prison for the first time. And since then, it's been a repetitious life, back and forth from prison, searching for, I really don't even know, you know what I'm saying? I was just searching, you know. So before Christ, my life was emptiness, looking for something to fill it, but never could find the perfect fit.
Grew up in a Church of Christ orphanage my whole life. Grew up with no mom and dad, and dropped me off at the age of 3, me and my 2 brothers, and which, you know, leads me to believe that my mom must have had some type of Christian values in her, so to speak, for her to even put me in an environment like that. But, you know, they always say that the environment doesn't make a person a Christian. You know, I lived there my whole life from the age of 3 till I was 17, and I don't think not one time I ever grasped what it really meant to have a relationship with God or a relationship with Jesus.
I've never really made a commitment to anything positive, that is. All my commitments have always been negative, you know, gang life, drug life, penitentiaries, womanizer, you know, everything I've committed myself to has always been in a negative aspect. And here I am presented this opportunity to look at something positive. And I decided then and there, man, I'm really gonna see what this program has to offer.
I'd been to prison 5 times. And I was going to bed every night just saying, man, something's screwed up in your life, and you've shot things in your veins, you've tattooed stuff on your body, you've expressed the way that you feel very vulgarly, very openly, and nothing's changing. I'd always started everything but never finished it. I got halfway what I felt like needed to be completed, and I would stop. And it was something about the Christian walk that amazed me, that it's something that you don't accomplish.
I developed a relationship with him, you know, and you know, I never thought I'd be getting emotional talking about God, you know. But it's amazing, man, when God decides to, or when a person comes to understand just how much God loves them, you know. And in this program, I've come to that understanding, you know, and it has led me to the person I am today, which is maybe not a whole lot from what I used to be, but it is something new.
I've always dominated anything that's ever got in front of me, and there's one thing about the Christian walk, that when you begin trying to dominate it by yourself, it's not going to happen. You're quickly reminded who's in charge, so to speak. So, man, just really getting humble and understanding that it wasn't going to be me in this world. It can't be me in this world. It's got to be God working through me. And in doing that, so many things in my life have just panned out. You know, relationships have been restored. Starting to get an urge to get my education. God put Mario in my life for that, and it's so funny, just the fact that we're sitting by each other because we come from 2 different worlds, and that's God in itself. I've been involved in a white supremacy group, the majority stay of my time in prison, 12 and a half years, and we prize the fact that we separate ourselves from any other culture outside of the white race. And you know, it just Mario's appearance, he would have, you know, if we would have walked in a barracks with each other, the first thing, my symbols on me would have sent a vibe to him, and him just being the guy that he is or he was would have sent a vibe to me, and it would have been automatic tension in the air.
What Buster used to represent with all the lightning bolts and all that old Aryan stuff, you know, there's no doubt when we made contact with each other, it probably would have been a fight. You know, like he said, I had this image I was trying to uphold, macho, gangster type. Then I got this white dude here, you know what I'm saying, trying to front like he's tough, you know. So both of us can't be tough. Somebody's got to lose, you know. So that probably would have been a fight. But you asked what was the factor that joined us, or man, it's the only answer I can come up with. It had to have been God, you know. Had to have been. This guy hated me and I hated him, you know. I don't know. Black and white is sort of like oil and water. They just don't mix, you know. There's a segregation going on, you know, in prison, which is our doing. It's our choice of doing this, you know. So that's a big thing here. Racism on both sides, you know. And for us to overcome that and become as close as we are with each other, because I do love this dude, you know. This is probably the first white guy that I could honestly say that I love, you know, outside of my high school football coach, you know. But man, this guy has really been a big reason why I'm still here today in this program, choosing to, like he mentioned earlier, put on that armor every morning, you know, fight the good fight.
You know, and it's awesome that God uses a guy that's tattooed 90% of his body just to stress how much he hates a certain sect of people, and a guy that has gold in his mouth and has lived the gangster mentality, and he shows that, man, when these two guys collide and when these two integrate themselves, man, and become honestly true of who they are in God, that the division is blown all the way out of the water, and it just stresses Christianity that much more.